What is something that is expensive, but only owned by poor people? Rent to own. Spoiler, you never quite own it. Payday loans. Single items of things that should be bought in bulk. Like single rolls of toilet paper. Barely scraping by paycheck to paycheck means buying bulk is sometimes impossible. In poorer sections of a city, convenience stores and liquor stores sell single cigarettes. A Lucy taught to me by the Chappelle Show. I bought Lucy's from the corner shop in the late 60s. Liverpool. A perpetually broken car. I was leaving an abusive relationship that also ruined my credit, so my parents bought me a car so that I could survive once I got out. They overpaid and spent $3,000 on a 2002 Toyota Corolla with over 200,000 miles on it. It was a nice gesture, but I'm now stuck paying them back every month, and I have spent over $1,500 in repairs on this car in the last year and it's still not running like it should. There's no way I could find another sucker to buy this piece of junk, so I'm stuck with it until I can pay it off or until I fix my credit. What a mess. Prepay electricity meters. Although it was a movie thing, there really are people somewhere putting dollar coins into a meter to get light. I don't know about the US, but they exist in the UK. They aren't coin in the slot anymore, you put money on a card. But the worst thing about them is that they are often in rented accommodation for poorer people, and they charge a higher rate per unit of electricity than a normal meter. So the poorest people are charged more for the same thing. Edit, well, that exploded, but now I have to add that a couple of people have pointed out that not all suppliers charge a premium these days, and there is now a limit to how much extra they are allowed to charge. I had a prepaid meter for many years when I first moved in with So, and we had nothing, and truly it was awful. The stress of watching the meter go down and down so fast, and then with the standing charge, it breaks your heart. It was years before I could actually afford to get a direct debit, and even though now I live in a bigger house with 2 kids now, I swear my bill is cheaper and no stress. All the situations like these make out they are there to help you, but honestly all they do is keep you poor. It's so sad. It's super expensive to be poor. Yup. If spending $50 to buy in bulk is more cost effective but you only have $30, then you have to spend more per unit for a smaller amount. Been there, sure, it may cost less per ounce, but right now I can only afford the cheaper total price. Dental problems. Those impacted wisdom teeth are hella expensive. I remember I had an old Chevy truck that cost so much to maintain and keep fuel in that I couldn't afford to save for another car. I literally kept me broke until I eventually joined the military and could afford a different vehicle. Crappy cars are more expensive than you realize. Until I eventually joined the military and could afford a different vehicle. Mustang, Charger, or Camaro, and 60% April over how many months? Haha no. A 96 Plymouth Breeze bought with cash. Good for you. So many in the military make the same basic mistakes. I swear, they should tack on 2 more weeks, and first and last weeks of basic training should be personal finance. I was never in the service, but so many people I knew did the same dumb stuff, including new Mustangs. They should show an actual visual or something about how payments and interest rates work. I'm sitting here with a decent 2000 Ford Explorer, and with only insurance to pay, while a dude I know is dumping $600 a month for a truck. I think a lot of them can't imagine how much all those payments build up over time. Number 1 rule for buying a truck is make sure you actually need a truck. Like for work. Then it's both usable and possibly a tax benefit. Other than that, driving around the suburbs in a lifted pickup is not as sexy as some people think it is. But Joe Diffie said that there is something women like about a pickup man. Bad credit. It is expensive to make someone comfortable enough to loan you money without them being certain you'll pay it back. A lot of companies like cell phone service providers will make you put down a large deposit before they'll sign a contract. Pretty much anything with a contract is more expensive if your credit is bad. I wasn't taught money skills growing up and was stupid as a teenager, so my credit has been a struggle to rebuild. Me and you both. I've raised my scores 150 points or so each in the last year though, so it's coming together. Debt. I feel like the question was written just for this answer. The old post with your alt, respond with you main. I swear Reddit is only actually 25 people. Well, at my job there are a few people who I'm aware of their salary. They make around $25,000 a year after taxes. One of them somehow has a lifted Ford Raptor that I hear is like $50,000. He recently acquired a motorcycle too. He probably thinks it's cool, but he's likely eating the dirt off his tires because he can't afford anything else but those payments and insurance. Sounds like he has 2 jobs or doesn't pay for his housing. I'm sure he doesn't have another job. I am pretty sure he lives with his GF at her parents' house though. So that's probably it. Man, I remember how much money I thought I had when I lived with my parents. Shit, I remember how much money I thought I had when I had a roommate. Roughly $500 more than I have now, and I'm doing just barely okay right now. I have 6 bi-weekly payments left on my car. I can't wait for the extra $243 every 2 weeks I will have. Honestly, this whole quarantine has been a blessing to my savings account. I can't spend money like used to. Lottery tickets. Well, 99.999969% of lottery tickets. So you're telling me there's a chance? Having worked at a gas station, there are a few rich people who buy lottery tickets for the fun of it. The amount of privates in the Army who have just enough money to pay for their 30% interest 2018 Ford Mustangs, but not enough money to buy literally anything else is pretty ridiculous. Edit. There to their edit too. Thanks for the ignite, kind stranger. Funny to me that my highest rated comment is about how stupid privates can be. A lot of kids. The poor are often very fruitful. I am one of the lowest paid employees at my facility. I always wondered why some of my higher paid coworkers drove old run-down cars and I have a fairly new car. After a few years it clicked that they all have 2 to 4 kids and I don't. While kids are expensive, having a paid-off car is just so nice. So while I could 100% afford a nice newer or new car, why? A well-taken care of older car is now paid off, squirrel away what would be the payment and just keep living life. If it works and it's not a money pit, no real reason to upgrade. As somebody who works at a gas station, Newport cigarettes. Seriously. It's almost only ever poor people who buy them, and they're one of the most expensive cigarette brands we carry. Edit. For those asking how I know they're poor, it's something you eventually pick up on after working at a gas station for a while. It's hard to describe, but it's subtle. It's usually their mannerisms. As a former gas station cashier, I noticed a few trends. The poor folk who buy Newports are usually the poor trying to flex on other poors. The more humble poors go for things like Pall Malls and first class. Whatever menthol is cheapest. Also, there is a very distinct racial divide, with almost all Newport buyers being POC or living with POC. The white poors always flex with Marlboros. Cig marketing companies absolutely made this happen. Big Tobacco used to hand out coupons for tobacco products with food stamps. That was nice of them. Cigarettes, expensive as duck in Australia. I think they are expensive almost everywhere now. Yeah, but in Australia it's a whole other level. A pack in US costs about $8, while in Sydney a pack is $20 US, or 30 Australian dollars. To those saying packs cost $15 in NYC, I'm referring to prices in Michigan. Despite a high state tax for tobacco products, Detroit doesn't have an additional city tax that pushes prices as high as other major cities. The Aussie government really gives no shits about tobacco companies. You have to spend $20, $30 for a pack of these. Shopping carts. My ex was a manager at a supermarket in a low-income area, and he and an employee or two would drive around every couple of weeks to collect stranded shopping carts. He told me stories of finding carts used as all kinds of shit, including dog cages and a grill. Someone turned a shopping cart over on top of a fire pit and grilled meat on it. Innovation. He didn't get that cart back. Don't know if that shopping cart has a coating on it. But I'm confident it causes cancer if you eat it. Then again, someone that is doing that probably has much more immediate concerns.